thanks for your time. I wanted to ask you, what's your feeling when you first enter into an F1 car? So it must feel incredible.
It was pretty crazy at the time. I mean, I had raced a lot of different cars before, but yeah, racing a Formula One car, the first time I accelerated was just insane. Like, imagine a road car when you go from first to second gear.
Yeah.
That acceleration, you constantly have that all the way to 8th gear. But then again, you get used to it. The more you do it, the more you get used to it.
Yeah, and also wanted to ask you, if you had to compare Max Verstappen, so the Formula One driver, to a football player, which one would you pick and why?
It's very hard, right? Because I'm not really, I think, a good football player. No technical skills. I don't know.
Maybe one from the past, a legend.
The thing is that I have, of course, for me, my favorite player from back in the past, for sure, Johan Cruyff.
Yeah.
But I cannot compare myself to him as
Yeah,
a
why
football
not?
player.
I mean.
So,
You can. It's a good answer, I think. A very good answer. I also wanted to ask you, you are now an ambassador also of Heineken 0.0, so bringing home the message about the responsible consumption, so it's a crucial point. Wanted to ask you, why did you choose to be part of this project, and how important is also this partnership for you?
yeah, I think it's very important to raise the awareness, because of course we all like to have fun and have a good time, but it's also about, responsible thinking and for sure responsible driving. So yes, you can have fun, but you have to find a way, of course, how you get home with a responsible driver. And then, of course, at the same time with Heineken 0.0, I have to say the taste is fantastic.
Yeah.
Even though there is no alcohol.
Yeah.
And that gives you another alternative.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, besides that, of course, with the Heineken 0.0, Player 0.0, it's something that is very it's a big passion for me, with the sim racing side of it as well. And yeah, a lot of great things that we are thinking about, how to implement for the future.
Yeah, and also wanted to ask you, I'm hearing, and we all know that you are a big football fan, you love football. If you have a specific memory when you had the opportunity to attend to a football game or something like this, and maybe it was meeting with a player, or maybe it was a specific match, one memory that is in your mind?
I'll never forget I think the 5-1 victory of Barcelona over PSG. That was crazy, at the time. I mean, yeah, I think no one would have expected something like that, like to overturn the 4-0 deficit. So, yeah, that's something that you will remember, I think, for a long time.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Also, Heineken, we all know, is about good times and bringing people all together. How do you usually use your time also following maybe a race weekend in this kind of mood? No, also with Heineken and this mix with other people, of course, with your friends.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you're traveling a lot, of course, it's hard to keep up with your friends and family. But I always, bring my laptop, my iPad. I follow my friends who are also like racing or in sports.
Yeah.
I'm always connecting to them, and yeah, it's for sure very important, to stay close to them as much as you can.
Yeah, and also, if you could bring one footballer to your personal racing team, who would you pick? And why, if there is a specific reason, and maybe someone who could do even better, in your opinion, in racing rather than on the football pitch?
Ooh, I hope not. I hope they don't do better in racing than on the football pitch. Otherwise, you have chosen the wrong job or profession, right? No, I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of great football players, and yeah, I just like to meet the different people and different, like, they play for different clubs. I've received over the last few years a lot of different T-shirts.
Okay.
Like the shirts.
There is one you remember?
Well, I mean, for example, for me, like, what was always a funny encounter. So Kevin De Bruyne.
Ah, nice.
Because we speak the same language.
Yeah.
He gave me, of course, his City T-shirt. He knows that I support in the Premier League. I support United.
Okay.
He's like, I'm giving you this T-shirt. I hope you don't mind. I'm like, man, don't worry. Like, it's about you. It's not about the club. I have a lot of respect, of course, of what they achieve as a club, but it's just a funny interaction at the time.
Of course. And then Kevin is also fantastic. Final question I wanted to ask you is about transfers. They always bring a lot of media attention. No, there is a lot of the noise about transfer. How do you handle about the pressure? No, you have, and the expectation when it's about being a high-profile athlete. No, I have this kind of pressure for transfer, but you as a top athlete, how do you handle with pressure?
Yeah, that's the thing that, of course, in F1 is very different to football. Like, for example, in football, you sign a 5-year deal. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you stay for 5 years at the club, right? It can be 1 year, or, 2 years. So in that sense, I think F1 works very different. Normally, for most of the time, when people sign a 3-5 year deal, that's how long you stay with the team. So it's probably different pressure. Of course, every year you have to perform, otherwise people, you get kicked out. But it's a bit of a different mindset, I would say, because even in football, if you don't succeed at one club, there are a lot of different kind of clubs that you can go to, different competitions in the world. Where in F1, of course, there are 20 seats. If you don't do well, you might have one other opportunity, but it's very different. So I think again, also I grew up like that, so probably you're a bit more accustomed to that. Whereas if you grow up in football, you're also used to how that works.
It's different. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Max, and good luck.
You're welcome.
Thank you.